Hi guys, welcome back to my channel for Makeup Bag Monday, week number 41. Basically, every week I rotate my makeup bag with products that are new to me or products I want to discover or rediscover from my makeup collection to test out for a full week. Check back every week for in-depth reviews, swatches, and demos of me applying the products. If you are curious about last week and what I was testing out, there's a playlist in that description box. First clickable link. You guys can catch up on all 41 weeks of Makeup Bag Monday. We are almost at 52 weeks, which means I have been doing this for almost a year. Without further ado, let's get started with how the products performed from last week. The first item I was testing out is this new foundation from Zelens. It's their Youth Glow foundation. I really have been enjoying it. It's a good lightweight foundation with skincare benefits for anti-aging. It gives me a nice dewy finish. Not overly dewy, but just glowy enough. Perfect for those of us with drier skin. It's a little bit hotter. I sweat through my face quite a bit in this heat. It's just enough dew without making me look like a total grease ball. It does last a pretty long time on me. About 10 hours is when it starts to flake around my nose, but nothing that I can't live with, especially with the benefits and how lightweight it is. I do like it too because it blends beautifully with my complexion. I wear the shade Beige, and this is a perfect match. What I like about this is it comes in a pump. It also is buildable. So if I was to travel, or if I were to say like not have any other foundations in my collection, who are we talking about? That's not going to happen. But if you're somebody who's looking for a very versatile product that goes from light to medium to also buildable to full coverage, this is something you might want to look into. I do one pump for a sheer wash. I do 2 pumps if I want to look a little bit more made up. I'm wearing 2 pumps today. And then if I want to build it up, you can definitely build it up to 3 or 4 pumps. It doesn't look cakey, it doesn't look heavy, and more importantly, it just feels really good on my skin. Next up, I was testing out the new Becca and CHRISSY Teigen collaboration. You get 2 full-size highlights. You get a small blush. I mean, the blush is about the same size as the full-size ones that you purchase at the store. And then you get this bronzer. I have to be completely honest. I'm a huge fan of Becca. I'm a huge fan of CHRISSY Teigen. This palette is not my favorite that they have come out with. First of all, this packaging, while gorgeous, is really not conducive to putting anything on it, because you can see I've only had this for maybe 2 weeks and I've got little white specks all over it. It literally like just transfers and sucks whatever is sitting near it, and it kind of ruined the packaging for me immediately. When you do a bronzer, you should really have the bronzer be the size of a bronzer brush, because you can see it's like really hard to keep my brush within the little circle here. So I do feel like they could have swapped out one of the highlights for the bronzer shade instead. Let's be honest, who wears that much highlight where you're going to use that all up? The formulation is very much comparable to all the other Becca formulations. Shade range wise, I think it's good. It is very similar to the Jaclyn Hill face palette. I feel like if you bought the Jaclyn Hill one, you don't have to get this one unless you're a huge CHRISSY Teigen fan. Then definitely you won't be disappointed. I think it's fun. There's nothing necessarily wrong with the palette. I feel like it's just nothing that different from the core collection that Becca already has to offer. I think you're getting a good price for value. I was testing out a bunch of products from Pixi Beauty, and these were by far my favorites that I tested, and this is the Aspynovard and Pixie collection. So you're gonna get 2 highlights, Santorini Sunset and London Luster. These are beautifully high pigmentation highlights, really soft, really long wearing, and just an incredible formulation for the price point as well. I think it's very comparable to the Becca ones and definitely more affordable. The packaging's not necessarily as sleek, but you know, who cares when the quality is that good? I've been using the Santorini Sunset one quite a lot. You can see I dug that one a little bit more. The other one is the Rome Rose, and this one is a little pinkier. I would use this as a blush topper versus just a straight on blush or a highlight. I don't think this works as a highlight, but this works beautifully as a shimmery blush topper if you are looking for something like that. Sticking with Pixi, I also tested out the Maryam I'm gonna say this wrong, Maquillage and Pixi collab, and she had the highlight and contour palette as well as the glow and bronze palette. So these, I don't think you have to get both because the highlight and contour palette is really pretty. I love this highlight down here, which is in Queen. And then there's a matte highlight, which is really nice if you wanted to use it like as a banana powder under your eyes. I like to mix these two or mix all three. I kind of stayed away from this one down here. It's a little too reddish brown for me. They are good quality. They're not as creamy as the Aspynovard ones, but they are well pigmented. And then we've got the highlight and contour palette. So the highlight and contour palette, I have to say, I wasn't that crazy about, but I feel like, you know, it's just, I don't know. I feel like this one's a little more cool tone, this one's a little bit more warm tone, so depending on your skin tones, you might be drawn to one or the other. Formulation, pigmentation's great. I feel like this one's a little bit warmer, which is the highlight and contour palette, and then this one, glow and bronze palette, is a little bit cooler. I personally like the highlights from Aspynovard a little bit more. Next up, I have the Itsjudytime and Pixi collection, and this is the eyeshadow palette. It's the Get the Look, It's Eye Time, and I love this eyeshadow palette. I think it's a really good quality eyeshadow palette. In the past, I've not been a huge fan of the Pixi eyeshadows. I feel like they are hit or miss for me, but this one is consistently smooth, consistently blendable, and consistently pigmented. They are really good. The shimmers are definitely a little bit creamier than the mattes, but the mattes are some of the best mattes I have found at drugstore prices. This is a little bit more expensive than the average drugstore prices, but not by much. Getting a lot of product for the value, and I think it's really nice. It's definitely more on the neutral warm tone. The only thing I wish there might be is a matte vanilla shade, because you can do a lot with that, and you can use it as a setting powder for your eyeshadow primer or just for your eyelids. So that's the only thing, is like a very neutral cream shade. But other than that, I really enjoy this palette. Now, I tried to like this. It is the Pixi Itsjudytime, It's Lip Time palette, and I didn't really like it. Looking at it on first thought, I was like, wow, this is gorgeous. I think the lip shades are beautiful. I think she did a great job at curating the colors. However, the formulation is so hard that it's really hard to work with in this palette form. I think the formulation would have been better as a lipstick in a tube, in a bullet, where you can really make it go on, but I think because they had to put it in this palette, they made it a little harder than the typical lipstick from Pixi, because normally I like the Pixi lipsticks. This was just really hard to get onto my fingers. It was really hard to get on a lip brush. It was really hard for Karina to swatch these for the blog post. Karina works with us now. She's been doing all of the Makeup Bag Monday swatches over on the blog, so we do swatch everything that we can swatch on white paper on the blog every Monday for you guys to see and shop, and also know the price points and compare and contrast. It's great if you're shopping online and if you like to look at pretty makeup photos. If you sign up for my monthly newsletter and then opt in for new blog post notifications, I send out an email every Monday morning, and you guys get first dibs on the blog post. You also get first dibs on watching this video before everyone else gets a chance to. Anyways, this was just really hard for her to even swatch. So I had been playing with it, and then she was like, Serein, how do I even swatch this? Like, what should I use? I don't want to dig into it. I'm like, you're gonna have to dig into it. So she really did have to scrape at it to get it on that paper, and I just feel like it's unfortunate because the colors are so beautiful. They do last quite a bit once you do get it on the lips, but working with it just seems a little bit too much work for every single day when I could reach for a bullet of lipstick instead. I was testing out some Makeup Forever brow products. These are their new brow pencils, and these are unique because of the fact that the way the lead or the color is formulated in these pencils, it has more on one side for you to fill in your brows, and then you have a more precise side so you can use it as a precision to draw in your brows. I like the concept of these. I don't think it's the best brow product that they have come out with from Makeup Forever. I prefer their little brow trio that is like a little brow palette. I also really like their other brow product where it's like a twist up pencil and then a powder and a spoolie all in one. I feel like my mom would have really liked this. This is like the old school brow pencils. If you like that old school brow pencil situation, I think you'll like this. You will still need to get a spoolie separately, immediately, which is super cheap, or you can just take them from the beauty counters like I do. I'm just not a huge fan of these for my own personal preference, but they do work. There's nothing wrong with it. I prefer using different types of brow products. These were very interesting. These are the Makeup Forever brow liners. I've never seen anything like this in my exploration of the beauty world, but I thought these were really cool because they look like liquid eyeliners, but you can go in there and get really precise and draw in actual lines in your brows. Where I find this to be helpful is, for me, I have very sparse brows, so when I draw the tail of my brows, I like to use this to draw in my tail. Before it dries, I go in with a spoolie and blend it out. Because I do have sparse brows, it can get a little fake looking if I don't blend it out immediately, but it is very long lasting. It really is precise, so I can finish the tails of my brows. And I think if you have bushier brows, this will help groom your brows in the sense of like really filling in any gaps you might have. The Makeup Forever brow gels, so they have tinted ones and clear ones. I personally like the clear one the best because it's just a little something to kind of finish off my brow look. I find that the formulation is good. It's not crispy. It does a nice job at setting my brows, blending out any of the brow product in my brows. However, I really wish the spoolie was a lot smaller. The spoolie is just a little intense and not something that works well for someone with like a small brow landscape to work with. So if it was a little smaller, I would like it a little bit more. Mascara I was testing out is from Thrive Cosmetics, and this is a great brand. They're very clean, they're cruelty-free, and they do give back. So with each purchase they give back, and this is their new mascara that took them 2 years in the making, and I have to say it was worth the 2 years. It has this like spiky rubberized brush, which I don't typically like unless it's done right, and it works beautifully with the formula. It does a great job at grabbing my lashes from the root and pulling it up. I can build it up 2-3 coats. It works wonderfully, and I like that it's not overly chubby, so I can still use this wand to get in there in the inner corners of my eyes and also get it on the outside as well. So it's a really good brush. It's got a heft to it, so nice packaging, and I love beauty that gives back. And of course, last week I was using the Pacifica Tuscan Blood Orange, one of my favorite scents. I love these little bottles too, and Pacifica is a vegan, cruelty-free brand, so really enjoyed this. So this coming week I'm testing out a lot of clean, green, whatever you guys want to call it, beauty products. I'm really excited to kind of be playing with some of these products I picked up from Credo Beauty. If you want to see me shopping at Credo Beauty and kind of going crazy, then you can go over to my vlog channel, More Serene. I took you along my day. I went to an event and I was like, we have extra time, can we please stop at Credo Beauty? I have to do some shopping. I picked up more stuff too, but this is the stuff I'm going to be testing out this week. I'm very excited because I got my hands on the Kjar Weiss foundation. This is the Just Sheer shade. First of all, this packaging is phenomenal. I'm really excited to test this out. Sticking with Kjar Weiss, I've been wearing this. I'm wearing it today. This is the blush, and this is the cream blush in Joyful. So have this Well People natural contour and highlight duo, which reminds me a lot of the Tom Ford Shade and Light palette. Products from RMS. I'm testing out the Un Cover Up in shade 22. This is great for concealer as well as foundation, basically, is what you guys were telling me. The RMS Cream Eyeshadow in the shade Seduce. It's what I've been wearing on my eyes lately. I really enjoy it so far. It reminds me a lot of Groundwork from MAC. Eyeliner I'm going to be testing out is from Physicians Formula. This is their liquid eyeliner pen, and it says Eye Booster 2-in-1 Lash Boosting Eyeliner Plus Serum. I'm going to be revisiting my Well People mascara. Okay, next up is Kosas, and this is in the shade Dark Room. I kind of smudged a little bit on my lips to do a little stain on my lips today. This smells so good. It smells like chocolate. But this is a super clean lipstick line. It's pretty new to me, and you can get it at Credo Beauty, but I bought this on Melrose Place, and I love the packaging. I love the lipsticks. I had no idea it was clean. I heard about this brand from my friend Christine, who was on the podcast a few weeks ago, and I was like, oh, I saw it at the store and I bought one because I was like, she loves this, and I bought it, and then I find out that it is like a really clean option in terms of a lip product. I got really excited about that, and I just love pretty packaging and healthy. The fragrance I'm going to be testing out is the new Urban Decay Go Naked. This is a cute little roller ball that they sent me. I was like, oh, this smells interesting. I'll have to see how it goes on. So that's everything that's coming up next week. If you want to see how the products perform, make sure you check back every Monday for Makeup Bag Monday. And of course, I upload 3 new videos here on my channel every week, every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Don't forget to check back here for a new video. And I do upload every Tuesday and Thursday over on my second channel, More Serein, as well as a new podcast episode every Friday on iTunes, Google Play, all of your podcast listening devices, as well as on the Behind the Beauty Podcast YouTube channel if you want to watch the interviews instead. As always, I hope my video helped motivate and inspire you to look and feel your best from the outside in. I know when I look and feel my best, I'm just a lot more capable at dealing with whatever life has to throw at me. And at the end of the day, I hope my video just helped you unwind, de-stress from your day, and take your mind off of whatever it was that you had to take your mind off of. That's why I watch YouTube. That's how I found YouTube. That's how I started my channel, and I hope I'm able to do that for you. So until Wednesday, I will see you guys right back here. Bye!